Tonight we gather under a theme that resonates with all of us. That is the challenge of change. Change in all of its forms is one of the greatest constants in life. Whether it's a shift in our personal lives, our careers, or even in this club, change challenges us to adapt, grow, and sometimes even to reinvent ourselves. Here at Gaborone Toastmasters, we're committed to embracing change in a way that brings out the best in us. Our mantra, "We leave no one behind," reminds us that no matter the challenges or uncertainties we face, we support each other through it all. Here, we celebrate each step forward, no matter how big or small, and encourage one another to tackle change and with courage and resilience. So, as we embark on tonight's meeting, I urge you to think about how we can embrace change in our own lives and in the lives of those around us. Let's make the most of each speech, each evaluation, and each role as an opportunity to grow together. Thank you, and let's enjoy a fantastic evening ahead. And as usual, we have our captain of the ship, or our Toastmaster of the day, or Master of Ceremonies if you prefer, or even Motsamai Tiro in Setswana. Tonight, our Toastmaster of the evening is none other than one of our faves here at Gaborone Toastmasters. Her name is Leah Musunga. She's no stranger to this virtual platform, but if you do not know, Leah Musunga is a Toastmaster enthusiast. She has previously served as VPPR of this club or Vice President of Public Relations. She's currently our VPM, Vice President Membership, and our VPE, Vice President of Education. She has served as an area director as well as Division O director for the previous Toastmasters year. Her love for reading also resulted in her serving as the editor for the District 74, or Our District, in Southern Africa, Achieving Excellence magazine. She is currently serving on the same district cabinet as logistics manager. Please help me to welcome our Toastmaster of the evening, Toastmaster Leah Musunga. Leah Musunga, take it away.
Thank you so much, Madam President, for those words. And again, I'm coming back to the virtual stage to say welcome everyone to our meeting. And as Dumelo has stated, the theme for tonight is the challenge of change. We, especially when you are in the working environment, you are always hearing people saying people don't want to change. Whenever something new is coming about, there are always people resisting change. And you always find lots of tension is created in organization because people don't want to change because of maybe new technology that has happened. So that is the work environment. But even in our own personal lives, sometimes you might be told you need to change your eating habits for your own health reasons or to help you, and you will be resisting that, or maybe thinking I don't need this, or even maybe just to say you need to start waking up to exercise. That is where I am right now, and you'll be wanting to continue to sleep and not even want to wake up because but you know this is something that's important, and that is us resisting change. So the challenge of change comes from our tendency to see them as problems rather than opportunities for learning and growth. So I hope by the end of this meeting today, I'll be sharing some tips of how we can see change not as a challenge, but actually as an opportunity for us to learn and to grow so that the next time we are faced with a situation that will require for us to change, that we will indeed embrace it and move forward, because that is definitely an opportunity for us to grow. As your Toastmaster of the day, I am basically the one who steers this meeting, but I don't do it by myself. There are several people who are here to assist me to ensure that indeed we have a successful meeting. So at this point, I'd like to invite some of the people who will be helping me along with this meeting to come to the virtual stage and to share what their role is in this particular meeting. So I'd like to invite our timer, Benjamin, if you could please come to the virtual stage and tell us about your role this evening.
Thank you, Leah. As a timer, greetings, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests. As a timer, I will time the table topics, the formal speeches, and the evaluations. I will also alert each speaker of the time they have left using the green, yellow, and red cards, which donates the specific times remaining. For table topic speeches, I will at 1 minute raise the green card, at 1 minute 30 seconds raise the yellow card, and at 2 minutes I'll raise the red card. There are no icebreaker speeches, and then the formal speeches at 5 minutes I'll raise the green card, at 6 minutes I'll raise the yellow card, and at 7 minutes I'll raise the red card. And then in the formal speeches, there's a longer speech which is 15 minutes. At 12 minutes, I'll raise the green card. At 13 minutes, I'll raise the yellow card. And then 15 minutes, I'll raise the red card. And then for the evaluators, it's 2 to 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, I'll raise the green card. At 2 minutes and 30 seconds, I'll raise the yellow card. And then at 3 minutes, I'll raise the red card. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Benjamin, for that. And his hand is raised so that he's the first video that you will see in the video list, and to help to ensure that you do note the time. I will then move on to our grammarian, and that is Theo. If you could please come to the virtual stage and tell us about your role.
Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests, greetings. As a grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all the speakers. I'll be listening carefully to all their language usage. I'll take note of any misuse of English language, as well as any outstanding words, quotes, sayings, or thoughts. As a grammarian, it is also my duty to introduce the word of the day. Drum roll, please. For today's meeting, the word of the day is agog, which means highly excited. We can use agog in a sentence. For example, I am all agog. We were all agog to hear the results. And pronunciation of the word agog, it's agog. I am all agog. Each speaker is encouraged to use the word of the day. I will give a word of the day report and grammatical usage report when called upon during the meeting. Over to you, Madam Toastmaster. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. And please, again, make sure that you do share it in the chat and on a more regular basis, just to make sure that everybody sees the word of the day. The agenda has been shared also in the chat. You are free to open it to see what else will be happening in the meeting. So at this point, I'd like to call our counter, and I'd like to invite Anne to the virtual stage to tell us about her role today.
Good evening, Madam Toastmaster. Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. I'm happy to assist with the counter role. My task is to note overused words and filler sounds, like, for example, They're used as scratches and sometimes to fill pauses. Most of those words are used and are our blind spots. We are not even aware of them. So it's good to have somebody like me paying special attention to it. Also, inappropriate interjections, I will note them down. Words like well and but, so you know I mean. Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you so much for that. And that is the beauty of Toastmaster, is that we are being taught how to ensure that we don't use filler words when we're trying to communicate. I would now like to invite our table topics master, Dumelo, if you may please come to the virtual stage and tell us about your role.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster of the evening. Here at Toastmasters, we also practice our impromptu speaking, which is what we have termed table topics. Therefore, I, as table topics master, will be running the table topics segment much later in the evening. This is where I'll pose a challenge to all of us in the room, guests included, to participate in taking up a speech that is 1 to 2 minutes long. I look forward to seeing you then. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster.
All right, thank you so much for that. And as the table topic, as the Toastmaster of the day, I'll also be the Heart Master. So Heart Master is an old English word that just means to listen. So I want to challenge you, as you are here in this meeting, that you pay attention to what is happening, because I'll be taking notes of what people are saying, and at the appropriate time, I'm then going to have a quiz in asking various questions to see how well you have been paying attention to the speakers this evening. So be attentive and listen well. And I look forward to seeing you all in our Hack Master session. So at this point, I'd like to invite our general evaluator helper to please come to the virtual stage and tell us about your role this evening.
Good evening, everybody. I'm not so sure, my network has been shaky, so I just hope that I'm quite audible.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, great. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster, and hope everybody is doing well. So I will be the general evaluator for this session tonight, and my role is quite simple, is indeed to personify the saying that a Toastmaster, indeed, that's where leaders are made, in that we get not only to speak, but to get feedback, constructive feedback. And I will be really steering that ship in that direction. And I will be evaluating everything that takes place in this particular meeting. And I will also be working with my evaluators to ensure that those who do present, they will indeed get the feedback of their particular presentations. I think in the main, that's all I have. Over to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Helper, for that. And welcome to all the people who are joining us. I saw some people popping into the call, and those are the role players who will be assisting me this evening. So our meeting will be divided into various sessions. So the first part will be when we will be having our prepared speakers. So these are people who have spent a significant amount of time preparing for their speeches. And then we're going to have a session where we have an impromptu session. That was the tabletops that was shared earlier. And then we're going to have our evaluation session afterwards. So I am definitely agog with the speakers that we have lined up today. And we're now going to get into our prepared speaking session. So I just got a message for our first speaker. The evaluator I think she says she'll be here in 5 minutes. So I will then start with our second speaker. So Hasina, you'll go after Tsepo Taba. So Ritabile says she's on her way, so she should be in maybe in 5 minutes. So we'll start with our second speaker. So Tsepo, I hope you are ready. Sorry, now that you are first. So So Tsepo, if you could just switch on your camera, and then I would like to invite the evaluator for Tsepo's speech, and that is Boipelo, to please come to the virtual stage and tell us about the speech objectives of Tsepo's speech.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. Today, I am agog at today's theme, the challenge of change. As a transformation leader, I can resonate with this theme well. I have the honor of evaluating Tsepo Phaba on her speech. Tsepo is doing presentation mastery level 1, project 3, which is about introduction to body language and vocal variety. Tsepo's speech is supposed to take 5 to 7 minutes. And the purpose of Tsepo's project is for Tsepo to practice using vocal variety or body language to enhance a speech. The member will present a well-organized speech on any topic. I will watch for Tsepo's awareness of unintentional or intentional movements and body language, noting the distracting movements as well as movements that enhance the speech. Tsepo's speech can be humorous, informational, or any style the member chooses. Tsepo, I'm looking forward to hearing your speech. Best wishes. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Boipelo, for that. So with the speech title, This Little Light of Mine, Tsepo, you may take the virtual stage.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Well, I'm not really a great singer, neither am I a very good dancer. But I'm definitely sure that most of us, if not all, have sang to this song at one point in our lives, either at preschool or at primary school or at Sunday church school. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, good evening. I remember vividly a few weeks ago, this song came to my mind. I remember reminiscing over the times where we would sing this song so passionately, so boldly, and so loudly. But as I was agog by singing to the vibes of this song, one thought came to my mind. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine? Am I really living up to this song, or is just singing this song at a very young age without understanding what this song really means? I even got shivers at the thought of this. How am I singing to this song so passionately, but I'm not living up to this? Snap out of it, I told myself. But I couldn't stop wondering, how many times do we often sing to songs, do sing-alongs, without really taking the message to heart? In a world that's often overwhelming, where challenges and darkness can overshadow our spirits. It is very essential for us to understand and remember that each and every single one of us carry little light within our hearts. This little light represents kindness, dreams, and the ability to make a difference. Dr. Miles Monroe says, the wealthiest place on earth is the graveyard, because there you will find dreams that were never lived, songs that were never sang, ideas that were never harnessed. Ladies and gentlemen, most people die with their lives. Most people quit before they even start. How many times have you thought to yourself, I'm not good enough for this. I can't do this. Maybe the next one. How many of us are suffering from the imposter syndrome? Self-inflicted doubt, fear, doubt, negativity, and sometimes workplace toxicity can dim our glow. But always remember that this light isn't only just for you. It is for the whole world to see. And it's very, very crucial for you to push through, even through the barriers. I want you now to imagine you are on a plane landing into a city at night. And when you look through the window, you see the beautiful, breathtaking city lights. If we could embrace the creativity, the individuality, we could create a ripple effect in which, just as a candle can light up a dark room. Imagine a community where everyone shares their light, their single gifts with each other. We would see creativity, collaborations flourishing. What is your light to the world? What is your gift to the world? I want to urge you tonight. Please, 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 do not contribute to the graveyard wealth. Add a little spark to the world. Deliver hope to the world. Through pursuing your gifts, your passions, or through kindness, or standing firmly for what you truly believe in. Because as for me, I will let that little light shine through. Thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Woo woo! Let's give Tsepo a big hand. Woo 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 woo! Well done. Yes, indeed. Let that light shine. Don't let it go to the grave. Well done, Tsepo. Well done. Well done. Wow, I can see some great excitement today from Deanne. Well done. I think I just saw our first evaluator coming onto the call. So Hasina, I hope you are ready. So we're going to move on to our next speaker, and that is Hasina Hamdani. So Hasina, you can just switch on your camera, and I would like to invite Hasina's evaluator, and that is Ritabile. If you could come to the virtual stage to tell us about the speech objectives of Hasina's speech. Ritabile.
Hi, Leah. Just got back from work just now. Thank you very much. Can I not switch off my camera for now so that I can
Yes,
just
it's fine.
go over
Yes.
this and then we get our speech going? Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yes. So the purpose of the project is for the member to practice using vocal variety or body language to enhance their speech. So during this speech, I'll be looking at their body language. This includes the gestures, the nonverbal communication, along with their vocal variety. This will include the pace, the tone, and the pitch and the volume of their speech. Back to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for that. So with the speech title, Food for Thought, Hasina, you may take the virtual stage.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Last month, our shared yard was buzzed with excitement when a small 8-year-old boy, eagerly waiting for his upcoming school picnic. And 2 days before the picnic, as I came out of my car, he rushed to me, agog with excitement, and exclaimed to me, "Auntie, our teacher said we will get KFC if we behave." I smiled back, but a nagging thought came in my mind. How do we promote values when we equate good behavior with these fast food? From young age, children learn to associate good behavior, reward, festival, joy with all these fast food. Birthdays means cake and candy. When they get the good grades, they get the ice cream. So all happy occasion becomes synonymous with the indulgence. I have even seen when parents, they coax their children through vaccination and promise them to get them their favorite fast food after vaccination. And this doesn't stop here. It goes into the adulthood, where now alcohol is considered as a symbol for all festive joy. But let's pause and reflect. Is it the essence of celebration? Good evening, Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Today, I bring you a speech truly food for thought. Food for thought. Imagine a child when instead of giving him the celebration, the reward as a fast food, if we ask them to go for riding, biking, painting, or some other activities which we can do together, imagine a child coming to you with excitement, full of agog, and imagine 24 hours splashing anytime, splashing in the pool or playing sports or doing some maybe smoothies with the fresh fruit. These memories, it will be lasting and it will really nurture them the deeper sense of health. You know why I ask you today that how do you celebrate birthdays and your milestones? Did you ever thought of trying any other creative, healthier way of celebration? Do you know that these indulgence can become a food addiction Similarly, as for nicotine and drug addiction. Why does this happen? Let's look at a brief look how our brain regulates our eating. So there are two main pathways. One is hunger, which prompts us to eat, and the second one is satiety, which signals us to stop. Now, there's a third powerful force, hedonic pathway. Hedon name comes from the Greek goddess of pleasure. And this pathway, unlike hunger and satiety, it tempts us to eat even when there is no hunger, often overriding these two balancing pathways. And we are living in an obesogenic environment where at every corner you will find salt, sugar, spicy, all those junk food. And these things, they stimulate our hedonic pathway. So, what should we do? We have to find some creative ways to divert our indulgence, to make our festive with a real joy, with a real health. Joy and health, it should go hand in hand. That philosopher, Epictetus, he said that no man is free if he doesn't control his own, if he is not master of himself. So this hedonic pathway, this mechanism, we have the power to cut it off. We have the power. And today, our theme, reflecting on our theme, that challenging the change. Today, I ask each one of you to find ways how to celebrate these festive in a really meaningful way. Mahatma Gandhi once said that if you want to see the change in the world, you have to be the change yourself. So we have to start from now, from today. And I challenge all of you to look that how we can collaborate all these festivals with our healthy lifestyle. We have a challenge. We are living in a world where diabetes and obesity, they are on rise. And it is not only affecting adult, but our children, our future. So time is now to act. So that was my message for today's thought. Food for thought. I challenge all of you to find your ways to celebrate. Christmas is at the corner, and start planning now. Make it a meaningful way. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Woo, 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 woo. Thank you so much, Hasina. Thank you. Woo, woo. Food for thought. Yes, time is now. Definitely, time is now. And as you clearly stated, Christmas is just around the corner. So time is now to think about how we'll ensure that indeed we eat healthier during the upcoming season. So we'll then move on to our third speaker, and that is another Tsepo. And I would like to invite Tsepo's evaluator, Blessing, to please come to the virtual stage and tell us about the speech objectives of Tsepo's speech.
Hi, good people. Can you just confirm if I'm audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay, so I'll be evaluating Tsepo Magoe. So Tsepo is doing level 2, project 1, understanding leadership style. So her speech title is exploring leadership styles and their impact on building formidable teams. The purpose of this speech is for the member to share some aspects of his or her primary leadership style or discuss leadership styles in general. So I look forward to hearing from Tsepo. Over to you, Tsepo.
So thank you very much, Blessing. So with the speech title, Exploring Different Leadership Styles and Their Impact on Building Formidable Teams, Exploring Different Leadership Styles and Their Impact on Building Formidable Teams. Tsepo, you may take the virtual stage.
Good evening, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests. About 10 years ago, after completing my studies, I started working on water engineering projects as a project manager. It is during this time that I was exposed to leading different project teams from different educational backgrounds. Even though I had a goal, what I didn't have is the experience to lead the teams. I started exploring different leadership styles, many of which did not yield any desired results. With the thinking that I wanted to achieve results in the project implementation, I adopted the bureaucratic style of leadership. This type of leadership is defined as a leadership style where the leader establishes and defines rules that the team is supposed to follow. The leader motivates the team by discipline and adhering to compliance. Since I'm working in a project-based environment, like I said, and I manage people who are very high skilled, micromanaging these people proved to be very difficult. Therefore, this type of leadership did not work. Over the years, I then thought to myself, let me move from this type of leadership and explore another type of leadership. I then tried the democratic style of leadership. This is defined as a leadership where the leader gives her team members the opportunity to participate in whatever they are doing in activities. And then the leader bases their decision on a consensus type of decision making. Again, after some time, I found that this kind of leadership was not very effective. This is because a project has a very short time that is given to that particular process. Therefore, you do not have the luxury and the time to allow people to prove themselves and to allow people to have a consensus decision. Furthermore, a project is designed in such a way that defines specifications, defines standards that needs to be followed. Therefore, the project manager as a leader is equipped with skills and with him being able to lead the team. The people are supposed to follow the project manager. The decisions cannot be coming from every direction. So again, that did not work. Several years later, after trying many different kinds of leadership over and above the democratic and the bureaucratic type of leadership, I have successfully completed over 10 projects, both personally and professionally. And I have come to a realization that the best leadership style that resonates with me as a person is the coaching type of leadership. This is the type of leadership where you give your team members an opportunity for you to guide them through their activities, to guide them through the processes, and to hear them out in whatever they want to achieve in that kind of setup. I prepare my team members for future skills by enhancing whatever skills they come up with. The success in project management made me realize that a leader is a person who's not only in charge, but is about taking care of those people that are also in the environment that you are working in. According to Tommy Robinson, one of the New York Times best-selling author, leadership is a skill, not an influence, and quality leadership is servant leadership. Servant leadership is described as a leadership where the leader thinks more about the people that they are in charge with and less of themselves. Therefore, I have made a decision going forward as I go on with my career to look into different kinds of leadership, even though, like I said before, I resonate well with coaching, and see how I can include all those leadership styles and get the best methodologies from each leadership style in order for me to become a better leader. At the moment, I'm proud to say I'm work in progress, and I'm giving myself an opportunity to upskill myself, to learn different types of leadership, so that at the end of it all, I become a better leader. Thank you, and back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Woo, 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 becoming a better leader. Well, well, well done, Sepo. Yes, leadership styles is definitely an interesting project. So we are now on to our final speaker, prepared speaker for the night. And I would like to invite Julie to please come to the virtual stage, as we also invite Lame to the virtual stage, who will be presenting her speech this evening. Julie? Oh, you can unmute yourself and please tell us the speech objectives of Lame's speech.
My apologies. I didn't realize that I had been muted. I was already prepared to do my bit. Representing Umlazi Toastmasters, it is a delight. I am agog with the thrill of the challenge of evaluating tonight your lovely speaker, Lame Matetwa, and I greet you all. It is lovely to be with you. The challenge of change, moving from club to club, is a thrill for all of us. And I really recommend that you go club hopping. It's a great experience. But back to Lame Matetwa, she's doing the path of leadership development. Very important. Tonight, she's doing an icebreaker. Well, that is level 1, and it is supposed to be 5 to 7 minutes. Oh no, I have worked out that Lame Matetwa is not a new member. She's actually a very experienced speaker. Because she's doing a new pathway, she starts off with another icebreaker. And an icebreaker is an introduction where we share something of ourselves to the club and to our guests and to our visitors about ourselves. So I believe that Lame has asked for not just 5 to 7 minutes, she's asked for 12 to 15 minutes for her speech. I am agog with excitement to see this speech. The title of the speech is The Journey Within. So if I could just go back, her path is leadership development. Her purpose is to introduce herself to the club. She's asked for a longer time, not 5 to 7 minutes, but 12 to 15 minutes. And her title is going to be The Journey Within. We are agog with excitement to see your speech tonight. Thank you very much. And I believe you are going to introduce her, Madam Toastmaster, not me.
Yes. Thank you so much, Julie, for
Over
that.
to you.
And as she has beautifully stated, so this is a 12 to 15 minute icebreaker speech. So it's a speech with a challenge. Lami is challenging herself. And that's the beauty of Toastmasters. You can actually extend your speech, even though the required time, as a way to challenge yourself. So with the speech title, The Journey Within Lami Mthethwa.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, and to our honored guests. As already introduced, my name is Lami Mthethwa. And today I want to share with you a bit about my journey. That is where I started, the path I chose, and where I am with Toastmasters. Ladies and gentlemen, standing before you today, it's someone who is deeply committed to helping others and empower others to overcome their own limitations and break through their self-doubt. Growing up, I always preferred to work in the background. I always kept to myself. Most of the times, I had fear to show up to space. I had fear to be seen in the forefront. Mostly, I had fear to make mistakes in front of people or in front of others. I grew up very cautious of what I was doing, of what I was saying. Eventually, I reached a breaking point. I felt it was what I was doing was not enough. I was not happy. I was not feeling fulfilled as I had hoped to. That's when the journey within began. You must be wondering, what is this journey within? The journey of personal development. I embarked on a quest to really understand, who am I? Who is Lami? What am I capable of? What am I passionate about? What are my true potentials? The journey within. The journey of discovering who Lami is. As the journey began, one of the biggest transformations was me embracing public speaking. It was me being part of Gaborone Toastmasters. I remember the first time I stood in front of people to give a speech. My hands were shaking. I don't know how many times I lost my breath in the middle of the speech. I kept going. One speech after another, one speech after another. I gained confidence that pushed me to go forward. Before I knew it, I started taking up leadership roles. I started with VPM. That is Vice President of Membership. This role is very crucial for recruiting members, onboarding members, and helping them through get value for their Toastmasters journey. It meant I had to welcome our guests. I had to initiate conversations. I had to do follow-ups. After my term ended as VPM, I decided, let me challenge myself again. I took up the VPE role. That is the Vice President of Education. With this role, I was responsible for arranging the agenda. I was responsible for finding speakers. I was responsible for ensuring that every member is attending to their educational goals. It also meant I had to initiate conversations. I had to call people. I had to motivate people. I had to keep in touch with all the members. In instances where all the members dropped out, I had to be creative to ensure that we have quality meetings. It didn't end there. I took up the VPPR role. That is the Vice President of Public Relations. It means I'm supposed to put my club out there. And to put my club out there, I had to learn how to create posters. That's how I got to know about Canva. I started practicing. And I'm grateful for Leah, who supported me. I would create a poster, I'll share it with her, and she would always have a way to correct and encourage me. I decided, I'm loving this journey within me. I'm loving this journey of personal development. Why not go for area director? Yes, I approached Leah again and I said, Leah, I want a challenging role. She took me through the whole process and I was appointed as an area director. Little did I know that I will be appointed as a remote leader. I was overseeing clubs in Namibia. My goodness, it was a big stretch in terms of my personality. It means once more, I need to initiate conversations. I remember we even had to travel to Namibia with Leah to have a club officer training. It didn't end there. I decided, let me also go for division director. I was appointed as a division director. Being a division director means I have to offer support to my area directors. I have to ensure that clubs are achieving their goals. Clubs are aligned to the district goal or to the district values. That means I have to be a strategic thinker. Time and again, I'm requested to bring solutions. Ladies and gentlemen, with all the skills that I was learning from taking up these roles, I discovered my calling. I discovered my calling of helping others. I discovered my calling of becoming a public speaking coach. With this, I help others discover their voice. I help people conquer their fear of public speaking. I empower individuals to stand confidently and confront their fear of public speaking. Not only did I discover my calling of public speaking, I discovered my calling of being a personal development coach, my passion of helping others, my passion of helping people overcome their own limitations and break through their self-doubt. Why is this important? Have you ever wanted to do something and you just felt like there was a stumbling block or a hindrance between you and achieving your goal? If you can relate to this, can you just show by raising your hand? If you ever felt like I'm limited to achieve my dreams, I'm limited to achieve my Toastmasters goals. I want to believe we've all been there. And with everything that I've learned and I'm learning in Toastmasters, I'm able to practice what I preach through helping others, through mentoring other people, through motivating other people, by helping them break through their own limitations. The biggest question now is, why am I here? Why am I still part of Toastmasters? Ladies and gentlemen, being part of Toastmasters, I can continue my learning. I can continue my personal development, learning from you, other Toastmasters. I continue to learn more skills just by taking up this role, just by being here today. I'm building on my skills. I'm building on my organizing skills. I'm building on my time management. I'm building on my speaking skills. In conclusion, I'd like to say this to you. This journey within me has taught me that conquering yourself is a lifelong journey. It's not a sprint, but it's a marathon. It requires patience, it requires courage, and a willingness to step out of your comfort zone. My journey has taught me that sometimes the hardest person to believe in you is yourself. My encouragement to you is, if you have not started that journey within you, be encouraged to start that journey within you. That is the journey of personal development. Over to you, Madam Toastmaster of the day.
Woo, woo, woo. Start the journey within. Woo, woo. Well done, well done. We can all give a big hand. Woo, woo. Salami. Yes, it's can always start the journey within. Today is the time to start that. And those are our prepared speakers for the night. We had 4 speakers who had spent time preparing their speeches over a certain period of time. So at this point, I would like to invite our timer to please come to the virtual stage and give us the timing for our 4 speakers.
Thank you, Leah. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay. We have Sin Hamdan, who spoke for 6 minutes 24 seconds. We have Tsepo Tau, who spoke for 6 minutes 47 seconds. We have Tsepo Magoe, who spoke for 6 minutes 4 seconds. And then the last we have Lamu Mteto, who spoke for 11 minutes 26 seconds. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for that. And we're always saying Toastmasters, we have to ensure that we speak within the time that has been allocated for us. So well done to our speakers for not going beyond their time. So at this point, I would like to launch the poll for the best effort speaker. So you should see something popping up on your screen if you have been listening to our speakers for today. Just want to, so there's a poll popping up for you to vote. Who do you think was our best effort speaker of the night? So the poll will open for a bit. We have 27 people on the call. And I think normally once we reach about 80%, we close the poll. So we had 4 speakers. We had Hasim Hamdani talking about food for thought. Tsepo Taba talking about this little light of mine. Tsepo Magoe talking about exploring the different leadership styles and their impact on building formidable teams. And then we had Alame Mutetwa talking about the journey within. So I see we are sitting at 70%. So we'll just give it a few more minutes. Once we reach 80%, then the poll is going to close. Like they always say, everybody has a, you should use your vote. I know this year has been a year of elections. Yeah, so everyone has a vote. Use your vote. It matters. And at this point, while the poll is running, I would like to invite our table topics master, Tumelo, to please come and carry out the table topics session.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster of the evening. I come back. I did say that we have an impromptu speech segment at Toastmasters, and tonight is no different. I've prepared 10 table topics, so I would have at least like for half of these to be attempted. And as usual, mine are usually easy and theme specific. That's a cheat code if you may have it already. Could I please get some volunteers for our table topics? I'll just start off with giving one to Diana so she can start typing in the chat. Diana, please describe a time when a big change in your life turned out to be a positive experience. Please describe a time when a big change in your life turned out to be a positive experience. I'll be waiting for your response in the chat. I think that gives me time, or that gave you time to try and take up a table topic. Do I see any takers? Would anyone like to challenge themselves with a table topic? Hello, should I select? I don't see any hands. You can raise your hand. Okay, I see our grammarian, Theo Malejo, would like to take up a table topic. Theo, please unmute yourself and pick a number from 2 to 10.
8.
Number 8. Okay. If you could go back in time and change one decision, would you do it? Why or why not? If you could go back in time and change one decision, would you do it? Why or why not? Theo.
Okay, thank you so much, table topic master. If I had one opportunity to change a decision, something like that, would I
Yes.
take it off?
If you could go back in time and change one decision, would you do it? Why or why not?
Yeah, greetings again, fellow Toastmasters and guests. If I had the time to go back in time and change one decision, I believe that I would change it, and I would change it. So during my university days, I started off with wanting to pursue medicine, MBBS. Started off with a BSc General at the University of Botswana. Then later, I had an interview with the medical school, and I was rejected at that interview. And went to engineering. I did my civil engineering, but in year 2, I was opportune also to have that opportunity to go to South Africa for chemical engineering, different kind of engineering that I'm currently doing. If I could go back in time, I would still go to chemical engineering because I see that chemical engineering it's diverse. It's diverse, and it's one of the engineering professions that is highly related in the mining industries. So if I would go back in time and change one decision, I would go for it, because during that time I was influenced somehow to just stay in Botswana and pursue civil engineering. So I believe that if I would go back in time, I would change, and I would change to accept that offer letter. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Theo. And funny story, I got rejected from medicine when they conducted the meeting to tell us the requirements. I just decided this is not for me. But like you're saying, chemical engineering is indeed an interesting field and one worth pursuing if anyone is wondering. Any other takers for our table topics? I see.
Julie's hand is raised.
Okay. Hi, Julie. Julie?
Hello.
Hello? Please pick a number 2 to 7.
3.
Number 3. Number 3 says, what's one change you'd like to make in your life right now? And what's stopping you? What's one change you'd like to make in your life right now? And what's stopping you? Julie.
Thank you, Madam Topics Master, and greetings once again to colleagues at Gaborone. I'm very pleased to be here. What is one thing that I would like to change right now? And what is stopping me? I'm a little bit agog at this question. And learning is something that we should be doing throughout our lives, not just at school. And there's something I need to learn. There's something that I have not mastered, something which I told my own children. But I, the mother, have not been able to put it into practice. What is it that I have not learned and that I need to change right now? I'm ashamed to tell you. I get very grumpy. And there's somebody in particular who makes me very cross. And I'm finding it very difficult to forgive that person and to go forwards and not keep hankering back on what that person did to irritate me. But I told my children, forgive and forget. I tell my friends, don't go on about it. Never mind, it doesn't matter. But can I teach myself the lesson? No. No. I'm agog at my own lack of ability to change that in myself now. Please tell me how to be less grumpy, how to forgive that person, and how to move forward. I welcome any advice, because as much as I'm trying to teach myself, this lifelong learning's not happening. I'm agog at my own lack of capability to do this. With shame, I hand myself back over to you, Madam Topics Master.
Thank you so much, Julie, for that submission. And I think we can all relate. We all have that one person who grinds our gears. And I, for one, can't seem to learn to forgive and forget. I could perhaps forgive, I think, forget not so much. But as usual, I'm agog to carry on with this table topic segment tonight. And I've seen an eager participant in Tshepo Thaba. Tshepo Thaba, please unmute yourself and take up a table topic. Tshepo?
Hi, apologies.
Hi.
I'm
Yes.
struggling with my video. Can I just take a
That's
disable?
okay. Yes, that's okay.
Okay, thank you.
So we have questions 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 9 and 10. Pick a number.
Let me pick 4.
4. Number 4, Tshepo. Number 4 reads, share a story about a change you resisted at first but eventually embraced. Share a story about a change you resisted at first but eventually embraced.
Okay. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
All right. Thank you so much, Tumelo, for that question. I remember very well when I started my internship at some organization. For a long period of time, I was under the management of somebody who was less qualified than I was. And being under their leadership, I realized a lot of inefficiencies within the department, and I thought I could change certain things that were being done in that department. I resisted the leadership of such a person. But later, I came to my senses and embraced this as a learning opportunity. It was an opportunity for me to learn other aspects in the field of the industry that we were in. And also I embraced learning from that person because they had more experience in the department. So I realized that whatever I am bringing with my qualifications and whatever this person is bringing with their experience and long service in the industry, I could learn from it. And after I embraced the change in the environment that I was put in under that person's leadership, I decided to embrace it, and I had more fulfillment within my role. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Tepo, for that submission. I think I too am struggling with resisting a change in leadership, not the government. Please don't mistake my answer, but it's often a challenge where you come across in the workplace, and I can surely relate. Thank you so much, Tepo. I see several other hands. I see
Bonolo had
Benjamin.
raised before.
Bonolo raised
Bonolo
first,
Kwapa
okay.
had, yes.
Bonolo, and then Boipelo, and lastly Mzwanjani Nkomo. I'll go in that order. Do we have time?
Yes, I think you can.
Okay. So Bonolo Kwapa, I'll just give you an option. Bonolo, please choose between 2, 5, 6, 7, 9, and 10.
6.
Number 6, Bonolo. Bonolo, how do you motivate yourself when change feels overwhelming? How do you motivate yourself when change feels overwhelming?
Thank you, Table Topics Master. How do I motivate myself when change is overwhelming? Well, for me, it depends on the type of change that we're talking about here. But the one thing I can tell you is there's this thing that we always talk about, your why, that your why is your drive. And for me, that has been very true in my life. I think my why always makes me prevail in whatever change that I have to face. And my biggest why is my child. So I always find a reason to move ahead in whatever change that I have to face because of my child. That's my biggest motivation, if I'm to put it that way. And besides that, I think it's just the motivation that I just have within myself to just push myself to be a better person and embrace change. Thank you, Table Topics Master, for the question.
Thank you so much, Bonolo. Indeed, change is one of the greatest constants in life, and we have no other option but to embrace it. And your child is one way to motivate yourself to get over the turbulences of change in life. So big up to you. Next, Boipelo, would you like to take a table topic? Well, you raised your options are 2, 5, 7, 9, and 10. Boipelo, please pick a table topic.
We'll pick number 2, please.
Number 2. How do you typically respond when faced with unexpected change? How do you typically respond when faced with unexpected change?
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster, Madam Table Topics Master, for that question. How do I respond when I'm faced with change? As I shared earlier, I am a transformation leader. That means that my role involves having to introduce change in organizations. And that, as the previous speaker said, is never an easy task because of the resistance that comes along with it. Because of that, and because of this mammoth task that I have learned to really embrace change by, number one, trying to understand what the change is about, what it seeks to improve within the organization or even changes at home. Then once I learn more, continuous learning, continuous pausing, continuous listening and getting feedback from people is quite critical in this process. So I always evaluate the change and try by all means to embrace it, because that's the expectation I have when I train people on new ways of working. I expect them to upskill themselves. So I also learn the tools of introducing it gradually and hand-holding the team as I go along. So that's the approach that I take. And I expect whoever introduces the change to also give that vision around the change for it to be well received by myself. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Boipelo. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think you've just seen our transformational specialist. I, for one, think that approach is very mature. I don't know how I handle change, but I'm pretty sure I need to sulk for a little bit. But before I take our last table topic for the night, I'd just like to read out what Diana has shared in the chat box. Remember, I gave her the first table topic, but this is what I have made of her submission. Thank you, Table Topics, Madam Table Topics. Times are changing, and I am agog to answer a Toastmasters question. I take my time as my speech is better, and these clubs are powerful that they improve with time. I got a great time, and my speech is indeed powerful inside. This is my disability, and it is different to speech in my mouth. That is why I use the chat box. Thank you so much, Diana, for that submission. Diana is a resident, or she's a resident visiting Toastmaster who comes to our club quite a lot, and it's always a pleasure to host her, as she is differently abled, I'm sure you can tell. Our last table topic was Mzonjani. Leah, do we have time to take our last table topic?
Yes, you can.
Okay. Mzonjani, are you still there?
Yes, I'm still there.
Okay, please pick a topic between number 5, 7, 9, and 10.
Lat Decima 10.
Number 10. Number 10 reads, how has the concept of we leave no one behind, that's the mantra of our club, helped you or someone else during a time of change? It cannot just be at our club, but in life in general. How has the concept of we leave no one behind helped you or someone else during a time of change?
Thank you so much, Madam Table Topic Master. I am agog to be part of this Toastmaster session. Change literally usually has got a more meaningful impact when it's cross-pollinated across many people. You can try to transform and change by yourself, but in many instances, whatever you seek to introduce, if you are probable introducing a new dimension, if you just do it by yourself and leave everyone behind, you will be that miserable soul that is standing there by yourself looking at everybody and wondering why they never get it. So the best way is to always ensure you embrace everybody, bring them along to that desired state that necessitates the change. So the mantra that Havron Toastmaster seems to live by, that everybody has to be included. Make sure that the ideas are cross-pollinated and you've got some army of supporters that are going to take through that message and preach it to others, because if you've got a discipleship around a certain idea, the better. Thank you, Madam Table Topics Master.
Thank you so much, Mzanjani. And indeed, we leave no one behind. And we keep reiterating to our members that this is a community that is dedicated to self-improvement, and we will always offer them support. That brings us to the end of our table topic segment. And I'd like to hand the reins back to our Toastmaster of the day. Thank you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Tumelo, and I'm definitely agog by all the speakers that participated in our table topic session. I'm actually amazed that we had so many people wanting to work on their impromptu speaking. So definitely agog by that particular session. And at this point, I am now going to get into our Hack Master session. Just give him 3 minutes, Mr. Timer. So if you've been listening, this is your time. I want to see how well you were listening. So you are free to unmute yourself and just tell us the answer. So I'll start off. So it will be random questions. So my first question was, from the speakers we've had so far, who wished to go back to chemical engineering?
Teo.
Yes, that's correct. Yes. Which speaker sang a song?
Purple.
Yes, very true. Okay. Who shared a speech titled "Food for Thought"?
Hasina.
Hasina.
Yes. And then who trains people on new ways of working?
Boipelo.
Correct. All right. So Hasina told us that there are two things that go hand in hand. What are those two things? Two things go hand in hand. And health and said joy and health. Joy and health go hand in hand. All right. Our first sort of our first speaker, Tsepo Taba, shared a quote from. Okay, I didn't ask this question properly. Let me move on. Okay, what is Tsepo Mahoe's job? She told us what she does.
Project manager.
Yes, correct. And what did she say is the leadership style that resonates with her?
Coaching type of leadership.
Coaching style, very true. And then Lame told us about the various roles she has held. I don't know if you can name them. What roles has she held?
Division Director.
VPM, VPE,
Area Director.
VPPR,
VPM,
VPM.
VPM, VPE.
VPP.
Yeah, she's an
Area
overachiever.
Director.
Yes, very true. All right. And then when Tsepo Thaba was giving her speech, she told us that light represents what? Maybe I felt this is not too hard.
Knowledge.
It's too hard. All right, let me just move on. She said it was kindness and dreams. Okay, what is our word of the day for today?
Agog.
Yay! And that ends my Hackmaster session. So this is just a way to help us to be more attentive in the meeting as it is happening, to ensure that we do indeed give our full attention to the meeting as it happens. So with that being said, I would then like to move on. We'll then move on to our better listening segment, and I'd like to invite our general evaluator helper to carry out our evaluation session.
Thank you so much, Madam Toastmaster. It was such a great session that we had today. We definitely had not only food for thought, but food for the tummy, so to speak. It was really great. And at this point, we really get to where we partake of the food of champions or breakfast of champions. It depends with where you are. Maybe it's dinner of champions, which is feedback for our speeches. This is what makes Toastmaster stand out, because you don't just deliver, but you also get to hear what experts are saying about what you have delivered. And that enhances our ability to learn, to improve, and therefore to aspire for greatness, such that nobody will be left behind in becoming a Toastmaster in every aspect of their life. So, to do that, I'm not alone. And that is very important, because I've got an army of great and amazing evaluators, I tell you. I think you got a tip of them when they were doing the preamble before the main speeches. And therefore, that enables me to request them to come to the virtual stage. And I will start with our first evaluator for, was it Asena Hamdan speech? And the evaluator was Retabile Seiso. And I will now invite Retabile to come over to the virtual stage and deliver an evaluation for Asena's speech. Over to you, Retabile.
All right. Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. Tonight, I had the privilege of evaluating Hasina. Hasina, thank you very, very much for that well-delivered speech. Right now, we need to pause and reflect of how we are celebrating our milestones. Think about it. Thank you very much, Hasina, for that. Your speech, all of us, I believe we were reflecting, we were listening very well to what you were going to give us, asking us to think about it, because why we need to have a healthy way of celebrating our milestones. And also that will be teaching our kids how to live healthy lifestyles so that we can also lower the non-communicable diseases. Thank you for reminding us that. I will go into your evaluation with what you have excelled at, what you need to improve on, and also what you can challenge yourself on. Your speech was well written, We were able to hear you. It was very clear. Your English language was out, and we were able to get the whole message. Vocal variety. Auntie, the teacher said we could have this when we behave. The soft voice, we were able to really hear that there was a kid running to you, and you just demonstrated to that as that they were running towards you. That was really, really good. Your hand gestures were also visible, and they were also deliberate to show us also, to enhance also your speech. And that was really also good. It was great that you delivered your speech standing up, because we were able to see you, we were able to evaluate your body language, and we were able to also evaluate your hand gestures. One thing that I would like you to improve on, as much as you were standing up and you were visible on the camera, your face appears that you were looking down on the camera, because I think it was low, it was lower than your eyes. So next time, let's try to put up the camera or your phone or a gadget in such a way that it's at the same level with your upper body, so that is proportional. We are able to see your eyes so that we can evaluate your eye contact very well. Things that I would like you to challenge yourself on, as much as we had the body language and vocal variety, in the next speeches, let's try challenge ourselves with speeches that involve dialogue, so that it can assist us with vocal variety, detailed, your voice pitch. When you change over from those different characters, it will really be of much improvement. However, thank you very, very much. Let's think about what Hasina has tasked us to do. Think about how you are celebrating your milestone. Back to you to say general evaluator. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ritabile, for such a detailed feedback. It's really helpful to hear that, not only for her, but even for some of us. We're really learning, and thank you even for the methodical approach to it as well. It's really appreciated and quite helpful to the speakers. And I will move on now to our next evaluator, that is Boipelo. She evaluated Tsepo Taba on a speech, This Little Light of Mine. Over to you, Boipelo.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. This little light of mine. Well done, Tsepo, for that well-delivered speech. I personally really enjoyed the way you showed up by singing that song, This Little Light of Mine, I'm gonna let it shine. It reminded me of the time when we were young, when our parents used to sing these songs to us, and reflecting on also how we sang that to our children. So that was a good way to capture the audience as you came in, before you even introduced yourself. So well done on that really powerful introduction. You had perfect usage of gestures. You really were using your gestures intentionally. They were following the message that you were delivering to us. For instance, you talked about flying in a plane, and you used your hands to show the plane moving up like that and down, and you would shift your body also to emphasize the points that you were delivering. So kudos on that, Tsepo. That was really amazing. You had very good vocal variety. You also used intentional movements. With every speech, there's always an opportunity to improve, and that's why we are all here. I picked two improvement areas that I would want you to work on. When you ask questions, I want you to, it would be nice for you to stress the questions to capture the audience. Like you move slowly on the question, you stress what the question is actually saying so that you really draw the audience towards what we are asking. You can also stress, you use the ladies and gentlemen. The pitch that you were using for that, you could have gone up and really hit the point hard and say, ladies and gentlemen, using that deep vocal variety that would have really gotten us engaged and captured. I would like you to challenge yourself again, Tsepo, to vary the length of your pauses. For instance, if you're trying to emphasize an important point, the pause, make sure you pause longer than when we are just talking about other things. Other than that, you have done very well. Your vocal variety was perfect. You used your gestures well. You were clear, loud. We were able to hear you. You can just improve on stressing your points as well as varying your pause, the length of your pauses. Thank you so much, Tsepo, and I look forward to your next speech. Thank you. Back to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Boipelo, for such a great and detailed feedback again, showing some practical tips for Tsepo to harness and improve his speech and presentations going forward. So thank you for that, and well done for such a great delivery. I will then move on to our last evaluation, which I'm definitely looking forward to, because I had this evaluator last night in another Toastmasters. So it's a great reunion, and who doesn't enjoy Julie? And I will hand over to Julie, who evaluated Lam Mthethwa's speech, titled The Journey Within. Over to you, Julie.
Oh, am I unmuted?
Yes, you're loud and clear. Go for it.
Thank you. Thank you very much to the General Evaluator for handing over to me. I am agog watching the speaker present to us this evening, Lam Mthethwa, The Journey Within. I scrutinized the speech, looking for a point of improvement. It was a struggle. There wasn't really anything that I could come up with constructive. So I found this tiny little point. I thought maybe she could have included a quote, but it wasn't necessary. So I'm changing the way that I'm evaluating this speech. I've mentioned one minuscule little thing that could have been included, but I'm going to tell you what I thought was done well, what I thought was done very well, and what I thought was excellent. Firstly, the hand gestures. Me, my, I. She used her body and she pointed to herself as she was talking about herself beautifully. Her fingers were spread apart. When she spoke about the past, the present, and the future, she indicated different directions, the directions of life, where we've come from, where we are going to. She spoke about what was happening out there. And she said things happen time and time and time again. And she called on us to be motivated. She used her finger to great effect. Something that was really good, a technique that we can all learn from, is repetition. but not boring repetition, using repetition as a technique. The group of three. I had this, I had that, I had the other thing was used. She said, what, why? When she asked those questions, she used her hands. What, why? And we were asked to answer those questions. She said, I'm loving this, and I'm loving that, and I'm loving the other thing. She said, I did this, and I did this, and I did this. And she used her fingers and counted the different things that were done in the most professional and charming way. What did she do that was absolutely brilliant? Times she spoke slowly and paused and went soft. And the sentences didn't have any big words in them. She said, I reached a breaking point. Now that sounds so much better than just saying, I reached a breaking point. He paused and staged it. And it gave us so much more impact because there were pauses and it was soft and it was slow. Another sentence that she said was, I discovered my calling, which sounds much better than saying, I discovered my calling. So use pauses, vary your tone, and you'll get more impact with just even the most simplest of sentences. What was brilliant? We were asked questions. We were asked questions. We, the audience, were engaged in the speech. You must be wondering, she asked us. Why is this important? We were asked. Can you raise your hands and tell me? So that we had to join in the speech. So we were engaged in the speech. There's so many skills that we could learn from this icebreaker that was presented to us tonight. It had a profound message, not only personally, but also for the journey in Toastmasters. It sets an example to us of where we can also go to. The structure of the speech linked from the title to the conclusion. And every one of us can be inspired by this speech tonight. Thank you very much for giving us the gift of your journey at Toastmasters. We really appreciate what you shared with us tonight. Back to the General Evaluator. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Julie, for always the detailed feedback that you share. It's definitely helpful. I'm sure Lame, wherever she is, she's definitely smiling and exuding with joy that she can harness some of the tips that you definitely have embedded in your rich feedback. So well done, and thank you for that, Julie. I discovered, like anybody else, that I can forget. So this shows you that I'm not a bot. At least I'm human. I thought that I was done with my team, but I left one person. And this was Tsepo's speech, which was evaluated by Blessing Chikuma. So we are not here done with evaluations. We're still up for another great treat. And I will now invite Blessing to evaluate Tsepo Magoe's speech titled Exploring Different Leadership Styles and Their Impact on Building Formidable Teams. Blessing, over to you.
Mr. General Evaluator, I'm looking for Blessing on the chat. It looks like he's not on the chat. I mean, he's not on the call. I think he must have dropped out. I'll follow up with him to get the evaluation for Tsepo.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Maybe peradventure I might have felt that. So thank you for the update, Leah. Much appreciated. So now we move on to the next bit. I don't know, do we launch polls now, Leah, or after the reports from the
I
grammarian?
can launch the poll for the evaluator.
Yes, please. If you can.
Also, the tables topics poll.
Oh, okay. I had forgotten that one. I'll launch it after this one, but you can continue.
So maybe I'm inviting people to just vote, and then you can launch the table topics one later. And
Yeah.
in the interim, I'll be inviting my other team members to come along. That is, we'll start with the grammarian to come and give us his report. And our grammarian is Theo.
Greetings again. Am I audible that side?
Yes, you are.
please. Loud and clear.
Okay. With table topics, with the evaluations, Grammarly, I will start off with the word of the day, which is agog. I am agog to give the feedback. I'll start off with Leah. Leah used the word 3 times, which is good. And we have Julie as the winner for the word of the day. She used the word 5 times. And also we have Hasina. She used the word only once, but Hasina had the chance to use the word so many times because instead of excited, she could have just said agog. And there's where I have noted Julie. Julie didn't join the words properly. She said agog with excitement, but agog on its own, it's meaning highly excited. So you cannot say agog with excitement. And Retabile didn't use the word of the day. Lame also didn't use the word of the day. Tumelo used the word of the day twice. And our general evaluator, Mr. Harper Zoe, didn't use the word at all. I'm happy that Tsepo on Tsepo's speech, she used the words such as reminiscing, absorbed, taking the message to heart, and overshadowing your spirit, which gave her speech a nice touch. Also, she closed, in conclusion, she spoke of the Miles Monroe speech, which was very great. Wealthiest place on earth right now is the graveyards. And the use of the word ripple effect. But disappointingly, she didn't use the word agog. With Hasina, a great speech. She used the word once, like I said, but she only used the word once. Was very, very happy that she even included the philosophers, Pythagoras philosophy, which she said, no man is free if he cannot control himself. That is what I liked from her speech. With Tsepo gave a good speech, but she didn't use the word of the day. But what I like about her speech is use of the 7th leadership skill, which she highlighted. Things of the leader thinks of people much more than she thinks of themselves, something like that. And with Lame, what I like about her speech is the use of breaking point, stumbling block, and conquering yourself is a marathon, not a sprint. Thank you so much. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much to our grammarian for such a great amount of feedback. I'm really agog. that people try to use the word of the day. And can you imagine, I'm only using the word of the day now. But nonetheless, at least I've utilized it. So I will move on to our next report, which will come from our and counter. That's Annie. Over to you.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. I can very, very confidently say that I am completely agog with the quality of delivery of the speeches, the table topics, and the evaluations. The delivery was extremely high quality with almost no interjections used. What I noticed were filler sounds with some of the speakers and the evaluators, but even those were not that many. I noted here for Boipelo 4 ohms and 8 ers, for Hasina 3 ohms, Ritabile 2 ohms and 1 she overused the word also was used 5 times over a short period of time. Then there was Tsepo, our third speaker. She used 4 times and repeated the unnecessarily. And when she wanted to say exploring, it was exploring. It took a while for it to come out. Blessing didn't use any filler sounds or overused words. Very impressed with Julie, who also didn't stumble in any of her contributions. And the same for Lame. I'm completely agog with the quality of her delivery. Our general evaluator was also impeccable. Thank you very much for all your high quality contributions.
Thanks so much, and much appreciated for such great and encouraging feedback. It's really what we need, and that's the food that we partake of. So now we bring it down to what also matters most to Toastmasters, which is time. We don't just do things for the sake of it. We try to measure our performance against time. And therefore, this particular aspect is going to be highlighted in the person of Benjamin, who is going to be giving the timers report for our evaluators and other report presenters. Over to you, Benjamin.
Thank you, General Evaluator. I'll start with the table topics. Theo Malivio spoke for 2 minutes, 13 seconds. Julie Davis spoke for 2 minutes, 28 seconds. Tsepo Tower spoke for 1 minute, 41 seconds. Bonolo Koba spoke for 1 minute, 28 seconds. And Bipilo Malus Omiat spoke for 1 minute, 49 seconds. And Mzonjani Nkomo spoke for 1 minute, 31 seconds. That is the table topics. Our Master spoke for 3 minutes, 10 seconds. And the evaluators, the tabulous CISO spoke for 3 minutes, 42 seconds. Bipilo Malus Omiat spoke for 3 minutes, 39 seconds. And Julie Davis spoke for 5 minutes, 17 seconds. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Benjamin, for the detailed report. I'm sure that different speakers do understand where they stand and how they can improve in terms of time management, which has got 2 aspects: time utilization and time minimization. So you need to know whether you're going to utilize your time because you didn't use much of it, or you're going to minimize the usage, or optimize rather. Probably that's the best word, so that you don't go overboard. So thank you for that. It's quite helpful. And that takes me to the overall evaluation of our particular meeting. I will start from the very onset when the meeting commenced. I really want to commend our SAA. She managed to get things going, and right 6 sharp, already she was in and accepting people. I've had cases in other online clubs where you go and you wait for the host to accept you. This, at least in my case, it wasn't that particular, there wasn't that challenge. And I'm sure for everybody else, which is quite good. We need that proactiveness. We need to make sure that somebody's there to accept members, because we may lose guests if we delay. So well done on that. And we started our meeting, I would say that in earnest around 18:05, which is quite good given the time that we needed to go through the speeches and other housekeeping issues. Then our SAA managed to also read out the notes on terms and conditions, especially around the recording of the meeting. That is very much critical, especially with the privacy issues that are quite dominant now. So thank you for that practice. It's really commended, and it ensures that whoever stays in the meeting has agreed to what was read out. So thank you for that. And the president gave us an encouraging note, which is always what we need, especially for potential members whom we call guests. They need that. They need to hear from the president. And thank you for that particular encouraging note. And of course, our Toastmaster of the day who doubled up, which again is a great sign of leadership, a Toastmaster, a skill that we are taught, that Leah doubled up and she managed to do these roles so well as the Toastmaster of the day. And thank you for that. You were really engaging, Leah, and members, I'm sure they really felt it. So thank you for that. And the participants as well responded so well, engaging, and some even sharing tips, like the word of the day. It came in a bit late on the chart, but I saw it coming from a member saying that, can you please share, even though it was minutes after the grammarian had just shared a picture. So thank you for that. And it's encouraging to see members participating. Then when it came to speeches, wow, what can you say? Like what the counter indicated, almost impeccable, great speeches. And what I liked about our speeches today was that they were not just speeches which were theoretical. There was so much practical. There was a lot of things that one can glean home and utilize. You could leverage on different pieces of the speeches that were delivered tonight, from the little light, let it shine, to the leadership styles that were indicated, the journey that Lame indicated. All those things were so practical that I learned a lot myself. And this is what makes Toastmaster stand out, because people don't just come here to see someone regurgitating something that they rehearsed in their backyard or at home, but delivering something that is impactful, that is life-changing, that is real and relatable. So thank you to all our speakers tonight. That was really amazing. And of course, the limited usage of the word of the day was noted. I would say that it's mixed. So I didn't use it that much. I'm one of the culprits, but many people did use it. So we encourage people obviously to utilize it going forward, because it's something that enhances our vocabulary. So it's well noted that there was mixed use of it. And when it comes to members, it was encouraging to see the utilization of emojis and the chat box to encourage speakers. Maybe I would say that it's something, the last part that we need to look at when I go on issues that we need to focus on. Because when it came to table topics, very well prepared practical questions from our table topics master. I found something again that was encouraging around leadership, around change, and it's something that I thought, wow, I'm really learning something here. And issues maybe to just look at, it's around the usage of the chat box, I would say, to encourage members. I didn't see that. I saw emojis here and there, but I think the chat box, it's important that we utilize that because we encourage people to engage with the speakers somehow and encourage them to be part of the meeting. Overall, everything seemed to have went well. I would say that maybe going forward, we just need to be mindful of our time. We're just 6 minutes over. So maybe it's something that we need to think and say, how do we make sure that 8 o'clock on the dot, we are done, everything is sorted? It's something that we definitely need to look at so that other people who have got commitments will not miss out. But other than that, it was a great session and enjoyable. Over to you now, Madam Toastmaster, maybe to carry out.
Thank you so much, Mr. GE, and definitely will take your comments to heart in terms of improving. So as you have stated, we're a little bit behind time. So let me just share the results from our polling for today. And I think we'll start from reverse order. The best evaluator is Julie Davis. Woo, woo, woo. Drum roll. Well done, well done. And then best table topic speaker is, I don't even know if I can pronounce the name nicely. Dumelo, please help me. Mozanjani Nkomo. And then our best speaker, best effort speaker of the night goes to Lame Mutetwa. So well done to our three. And then as always, we always want to appreciate people who help us. So Anne, our counter, and Asta right at the beginning of the meeting, thank you so much for taking up this throughout the last meeting. Julie for being an evaluator. And of course, our general evaluator helper for coming through to help us. And I would also like to welcome one of our speakers today. Is actually a new member joining us, Tsepo Taba. Oh, I wrote Tabo. Sorry, my bad spelling mistakes. But we just want to, so that was just to say welcome. She's new and she's already giving a speech. This is what we like to hear. And at this point, I'll hand over to our president, Dumelo.
Thank you so much, Madam SAA/TMOD/VPE/VPM. She has many hats to wear indeed. But with that, I'd just like to give a few announcements. Our next meeting is next week, Tuesday, the 12th of November. It's an in-person meeting at Lifeline Medical Center in Luduma-Dumani. Please do join us if you are in town. Other than that, as usual, we'll have another meeting, a bi-weekly meeting, 2 weeks from now, which will be on the 19th of November, right here on Zoom. That is for everyone else who is unfortunately out of town. Also, like Leah said, I'd like to give a heartfelt welcome, or should I say welcome back, to Tsepo Taba, who's a newly reinstated member. And she has come back to the club, and as you can see, she has continued to give her speeches, and she is always welcome, as are you, because our renewals are still open, and the club is indeed self-pay enabled as far as I know. But if you do have trouble, please reach out to either me or Leah to assist you in your renewals. Could I just ask that guests and everyone wait till I close the meeting for a photo opportunity? But with that said, I'd like to thank everyone for being here tonight and engaging with our theme, the challenge of change. For each and everyone who contributed to giving this supportive space, that is our visiting Toastmasters who continue to help us evaluate both our speeches as well as our club. I see you, Helper. I see you, Anne. I see you, Julie. Thank you for your continued support. You're indeed helping us face change with courage and optimism. Tonight, we saw firsthand the power of our Gaborone Toastmasters mantra, we leave no one behind. And we continue to adapt and grow on this journey together, facing all challenges we may encounter and pursuing new goals. Thank you again for your participation and enthusiasm. You are indeed our GOG tonight. And let's take what we learned here and carry it forward, embracing change in our lives and supporting each other along the way. Have a great evening and see you at our next meeting. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Thank you.